All right, I am here at the very southern tip of Illinois at the Mississippi and Ohio confluence. So right over here, we've got the Ohio River, and then right over here, we have the Mississippi River, and they both meet right here at the very southern tip of Illinois. Now, Illinois, I know this probably doesn't represent you as a state, but this is where we ended up on our road trip itinerary. So this is where I get to talk about Illinois. Now, you have a very weird circumstance here in Illinois that I will talk about in the supplement plan section, so let's start with that. When we're talking about supplement plans, cost is always a big factor. Nationally, if a 65-year-old were looking to get a supplement plan G, the national average is $150. Here in Illinois, your average for plan G for a 65-year-old is $150. For plan N, the average nationally is $120. Here in Illinois, your average is $120. So very normal, very average here. You are an attained age state. What that means is that your supplements are based on the age that you have attained. Now, there are three ways that supplement plans can be rated. The first is community rated, issue age, and attained age. Now, all three of these plans will have annual increases that insurance companies can give because of the rising healthcare costs, inflation, and then how the insurance company itself is performing. The difference with attained age plans is that you could have a second increase based on you attaining a new age. We sarcastically refer to this as a happy birthday increase. So when you go from 65 years old on this supplement plan and you attain a new age of 66 on your birthday, you could see a little bump in your premium. So potentially 2 premium increases on attained age plans. So it's not the greatest news, but at the same time, attained age plans typically start less than the other two, issue age and community rated. So they start lower, and then as you get older, they will catch up and pass the other two. Nationally, the supplement plan penetration rate is 21%. That means how many people are choosing a supplement plan over something like an Advantage plan or something else. Here in Illinois, it is 31%, so considerably higher than the national average of number of people who are choosing a supplement plan. That is all letters put together, not one particular letter. This isn't me advocating for or against supplement plans. This is just the numbers that we're seeing here in Illinois. And with those premiums, there are opportunities for discounts here. So insurance companies will offer discounts to people based on certain circumstances. So for example, there is a household discount where if, let's say, me and my spouse are both on a supplement plan with the same insurance company, there are insurance companies that will say, hey, we're going to give you a discount since you're both with us. Another discount is called the wearable discount. If you're willing to wear a smart device like a Garmin, a Fitbit, an iWatch, and sync that with the insurance company, then they can see that you're exercising and you're active. They're going to give you a wearable discount. The last discount I'll talk about here is an annual discount. That's where if you're willing to pay your premiums all up front for the year rather than month to month, they'll give you a discount on that. Some insurance companies, and there are some insurance companies that will let you stack these discounts on top of each other to get even further savings. So that's going to drive your cost lower than the national average. This is why I'm always harping on using an independent agent who's licensed and familiar with your area so that one, you can find a supplement plan that fits in your budget or an Advantage plan that we'll talk about here in a minute. You can find an insurance company that's reputable and those increases will be a little bit more stable. And then third, they'll find you these discounts that are available where if you just went straight to an insurance company, that insurance company isn't going to tell you about the other insurance companies offering these discounts. So just use an agent for this. Even if it's not us, use our competitors. Just use an agent to help you with these decisions. It will never cost you anything. If you do want to use us, I do have partners who are licensed and familiar with the plans here in Illinois. My email is always in the description of these videos, or you can go to theretirementnerds.com. 2 more things left on the supplement plans. The first one is the super strange thing with supplement plans here in Illinois. Now, there are states that are called GI states, guaranteed issue states. And these states are the exception more than the rule here nationally. So there are only a few GI states. Illinois is sort of a GI state. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. So guaranteed issue states allow you to switch from one supplement plan to another. Guaranteed issue, you don't have to go through medical underwriting during certain times of the year. A lot of these states are based around your birthday. There are states that are exceptions, but mostly around your birthday, there will be states that say, hey, you know what? You can switch from one supplement plan to another. And this is a great benefit because if you're on an insurance company whose rates are increasing faster than the other supplement plan insurance companies around, well, around your birthday, you could say, you know what? I'm going to jump off of this plan that's increasing too much, and I'm going to go over to the same plan with a different insurance company and save some money. But Illinois, your rule here is kind of lame. And I say that because what yours allows you to do is that you can switch to a same plan or lower in the exact same insurance company. What that basically means is that you can really only switch lower. So for example, if I'm on a plan G with XYZ insurance company, Well, that same insurance company isn't offering another plan G, they're offering the other different supplement plans. So I can't really switch over to my same insurance company's plan G. I have to switch down to a different plan, and it has to be in the exact same insurance company. This does not include affiliates. So in this insurance world, all of the big carriers, you think of Mutual of Omaha, Cigna, Humana, United, all of these big insurance companies, they have affiliates. So Mutual of Omaha has Omaha Insurance Company. They have Omaha Supplemental Company. They have Omaha Health Insurance Company. These are all affiliates of the same umbrella company. Well, with the Illinois rule, you have to stay within the same company. You can't move over to affiliates. So if the Omaha Insurance Company has higher rates than the Omaha Supplemental Company, even though they're under the same umbrella, I can't switch from one affiliate to the other. It has to be within that exact same company. So I don't know. I guess this is a benefit. It's kind of a weird rule here. It's a quasi-GI state. The only other weird one like this is Louisiana, which says it's a guaranteed issue state, but it doesn't really bring as much benefit as the other guaranteed issue states that have a lot more flexibility around switching plans. But know that this is there if you did want to switch from a G to an N, because in other states, if you wanted to switch from a G to an N, you would have to go through medical underwriting. But in other states with the guaranteed issue rule, with the exception of Louisiana, then you're kind of switching to different insurance companies and finding better rate options. The other, and I'll say it, the other crappy part about this is that it is only between 65 and 75 years old. Once you go over 75 years old, you don't even have this rule anymore. So you can't switch. Again, in all the other GI states, you can keep switching past 75, but here in Illinois, they cap it at 75 years old. Once you're older, and that's when those rate increases really start to accelerate. So not the greatest. I'm not the biggest fan here. There are other states that I think do this a little bit differently, but they don't care what I think. Now, in most states, when you get Medicare pre-65, it's because you're disabled, you have end-stage renal disease, ESRD, or you've been diagnosed with ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. In most states, you don't have a lot of options for supplement plans. In some states, you don't have any options for supplement plans until you reach 65. And in most states that do have options for you, it's usually like one plan, like Plan A only, or maybe Plan A and Plan B. And in addition to this, there are dramatically higher rates, like 5 times higher than 65-year-olds would be paying. Illinois does a good job here. So you do have plans for pre-65. You have all of the letters, and the rates are the same or similar to those who are 65 years old, just depending on the insurance company that you pick. So that's a good thing. Now let's move over to the Advantage plan side of the conversation. The Advantage plans that we always look at, we're looking at a maximum out-of-pocket conversation here. What is your maximum risk if everything were to go bad in a year? Now, the national average for Advantage plans is $5,000 for the year. Here in Illinois, your average is $4,000, so significantly less than the national average. And again, this is an average, so you will find plans that are higher, you'll find plans that are lower, but your average is looking pretty strong. Now, as is the case with Advantage plans in most parts of the country, as you start getting into bigger cities, you have more availability and more opportunity to find stronger plans, lower maximum out of pocket. The same holds true here in Illinois. So in your larger metropolitan areas, you're going to have more of a competition between insurance companies with Advantage plans, giving you more options. In more rural areas, you will have fewer Advantage plan options. Typically, the benefits aren't as strong, or you may not have any Advantage plan options, just depending on the zip code that you are in. The Advantage plan penetration rate throughout the country, so again, the number of people who are choosing Advantage plans versus Supplement and everything else, is 50%. Here in Illinois, you're at 41%, so lower than the national average. Again, this isn't me saying you should or shouldn't consider Advantage or Supplement plans. That's going to be based on your needs that we talk about in a lot of other videos. Switching from Advantage plan to Supplement plan follows the same national guidelines here. There are 4 things to talk about. 2 of them are trial rights. The first trial right comes if you go on Medicare at your 65th birthday. This doesn't apply if you go on Medicare after your 65th birthday. It's at your 65th birthday and you choose an Advantage plan. If that's the case, you have a 12-month window where you can try that Advantage plan. And if you don't like it within those 12 months, you can switch back to original Medicare and a Supplement plan with no medical underwriting, with no fear of getting denied because of your health. The second trial right is when you go on Medicare, and this can be at any age now. It doesn't have to be at your 65th birthday. So if you go on Medicare after 65, let's say 70 years old, and you take a Supplement plan first, if this is the case, and at any point in the future, if you want to switch off of that Supplement plan and try an Advantage plan, you can do so, and then you have a 12-month window to try that Advantage plan. If you don't like it, you can switch back to original Medicare in your Supplement plan with no medical underwriting, no fear of getting denied. The third method of switching from Advantage to Supplement is going to be during a special election period. Now, the most common is if you have moved outside of your Advantage plan's service area. So you live in Chicago and you move to another state, or you move outside of the zip codes where your Advantage plan applies, then you would be able to pick up original Medicare and a Supplement plan with no medical underwriting, or you could pick up another Advantage plan if you so choose, but that's an easy way to switch from one to the other. There are other special election periods. Moving is just the most common. If you want to know what all of them are, I'll have a link in the description here, or you can reach out. We'd be happy to help. Now, the fourth way to switch from Advantage plan to supplement plan is by going through medical underwriting. Again, what's going to happen here is they're going to ask you health questions. If you have good health, the switch shouldn't be a problem. If you have poor health, then you could be charged higher than normal rates or denied completely. The timing of this is important. You wouldn't want to just switch at any time. You need a valid period to disenroll from your Advantage plan and enroll into Original Medicare. That's coming during the annual enrollment period, which is October to December of every year. And any changes you make in that period go into effect on January 1st of the upcoming year. So there is a time frame that you need to be aware of. The second is the open enrollment period that goes from January through the end of March of every year. And then again, the special election periods that we talked about. The reason this is important is because if you're on an Advantage plan, they typically have drug coverage, Part D included with them. And if you're moving off of a Part D plan, you need to pick up a standalone drug plan. And again, you can only do so during these certain windows of the year. You can't just pick these up anytime you want. So we wouldn't want you to have a gap in your coverage because you're trying to switch from an Advantage plan to a supplement plan. Again, always advocate using an agent to help you through this. It doesn't have to be us. If you do want our help, we're more than happy to help. All right, I like to leave a secret code at the end of these videos, and it just helps me take the comments a little bit more seriously because I know you've made it all the way through the video, and then we can address things. So the keyword here, I'm nowhere near it, but I grew up a huge Michael Jordan fan in the Chicago Bulls. So if anything in your comment references the Chicago Bulls or Michael Jordan, then I will know that you've made it this far. It'll be our little secret, and we can go from there. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, please do so. It helps more than you know. My family and I are going to go explore Illinois a little bit more, and then I will see you in the next video.